In this nugget, we're going to learn about formal and informal language. We use formal language in situations that are serious or when we're addressing people we do not know well. Let's read an example of formal language. There have been increasingly fewer young pupils opting to learn a foreign language since the turn of the century. According to a national survey on nearly 3,000 secondary schools in 2018, many students simply consider language courses too challenging. In contrast, informal language is used when speaking to friends or in relaxed situations. Let's look at an example of informal language. I started learning French a while back, but I just can't seem to get my head around the grammar. There are so many rules. I really want to improve though, because I've got a holiday coming up in Paris, and I'd love to be able to at least order my meals in French. People may use formal language in more serious texts, or to show that they are experts in a subject. Using formal language can also depend on your audience. You would use formal language to someone you did not know well, or someone who you need to impress, such as the principal of your school or your boss. Formal writing may use words that you would not use in informal writing. For instance, acquire is used here rather than learn, and challenging is used rather than difficult or hard. Formal writing creates a more serious tone or mood and makes the writer seem as if they know what they are talking about. Now let's think about informal language. You might use informal writing in an email to a friend or when posting in an online forum. Sometimes, writers use informal language in other types of texts to create a more personal tone or mood, as it can help to engage or interest the reader. Informal language is sometimes called colloquial language. Writers may use slang or figures of speech such as get my head around it. Informal writing may have a conversational or chatty tone. They may write in a way that sounds like they are speaking directly to the reader, such as, you know. Writers may use idioms or sayings such as get stuck in to make the writing seem more friendly. Sometimes you need to decide whether a writer is using formal or informal language. Writers use formal language to sound more serious or important. They will use informal language to sound more friendly and personal. If you're reading a text and trying to decipher which the writer is using, think about whether the writer is using words you're more likely to say to a friend or someone who you don't know very well. Let's summarize everything we've learned about formal and informal language. Formal language, or a formal tone, is used by the writer to sound more serious or important. Formal language makes the text less personal. It's similar to the way you would talk to someone you don't know. Informal language, or an informal tone, is used to make the writer seem more friendly or personal. It includes slang and figures of speech, and is similar to the way you would talk to a friend.